Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of TerraFirmaGreg. I was gonna make all my copper charcoal and everything before I came back, because today's episode was originally going to focus singularly on forging, getting our copper anvil and doing a little bit of forging with it. But I think actually what we're going to do to start the episode will be beekeeping. Because I would like to get, if we go in here, I want to say it's food, not food shells, a cellar. Cellars. So in order to make these cellars, we need a comet station, which I'll just have to show. Anyway, the way you get this is with beeswax or conifer rosin, but to get conifer rosin isn't the easiest thing. So if we go to conifer rosin, we have, never mind. That's actually not that hard, and honestly might be easier than, that might be easier actually than doing bees. The only problem is that in order to do that we have to have, I think it's called a spigot, no, a tap. We have to have a tap, which is made with a copper ingot. 1,000 millibuckets will make a single conifer rosin, it seems, in a pot, which that may be new. I'm not sure if that's new or not, but I think what we'll do for now is we will go ahead and get some bees going. So how you do bees, let's go grab just 8 chestnut logs, turn them completely, all of them, into lumber. And I may end up having to split my recording session for this up. Let me see how we build this. Oh, it's just, okay. So, we need 2 apiece. Let's see if we can get 6 of these. Alright, we can get 6 of these. So we also need thatch, which we'll need 3... That makes a hay bale. Okay, that worked. And then, okay. Oh, duh, because it's, right. And then I actually want a little bit more chestnut lumber, just a little bit. So I can make just a little bit more of that. A little bit more of that. A few more of these. Alright, there we go. So we're gonna also need a lot of flowers. So let's go choose a place that I'm not really planning on doing a heck of a lot more with in the near future. This area over here has a fair number of flowers that I'm destroying some of. Let's do this. That was just grass. So that's fine. And that actually gave us 3 apiece. So there are 17, 15, 14. But with our stone knife, we can go collect a bunch more flowers. And let's go ahead and do that real quick. I don't need a ton of flowers necessarily, but I'll just get quite a few. And hopefully we'll get the natural regeneration trait into our bees fairly quickly. And I'll sort of explain the bee traits a little bit better in just a moment. Okay, well that's all we're gonna get right now. And we have to make sure that we don't accidentally place these down on another flower, because then it'll just delete the other flower. and replace it with the one that we placed down. I also would like to leave the very front of our beehives open, just for ease of access. Now, putting them between the beehives is fine. That's just a tulip. These maiden pinks are pretty cool looking little flowers. The hyacinthia, or hyacinth, or whatever the crap that just said. Okay, so now that gives us a 1 in 34 chance, 1 in 35 chance, 1 in 41 chance. So, that's fine. We will get bees through that. And then, let's run back up here. Hopefully, at least one of my charcoal kilns will have, charcoal pits will have finished by now. And I think this one certainly has. Wonderful. This is going to take a fair amount of time, and it's going to take a ton of durability off of our shovel, but that's perfectly acceptable. I'm actually going to have to make another shovel. Oh no, I'm not. I already had another shovel in my inventory. That's perfect. That gave us 41 charcoal. That is plenty to do what we need to do. So let's go ahead and get all of this, get this forge heating up while I explain bees. So let's jump into our book here. We'll type in beekeeping. And so basically the abilities are these right here. Hardiness allows bees to produce honey at lower temperatures. Production improves the speed of honey production. Mutant increases variability in traits. Fertility increases likelihood of breeding. Crop affinity will give some crops nutrients, or will give crops some nutrients. Nature restoration will cause new flowers and lily pads to spawn. Calmness, that means you might not get attacked. Natural restoration, production, and hardiness are really the ones that I'm really looking for personally in my bees. Hopefully we'll get those. Can't say for sure that we will get them, but hopefully we get them. Stuff like that usually is pretty good about popping up on its own. Most of the time. Not always, but most of the time. So hopefully it will. Let's go ahead, stick our tongs here. Oh my gosh. That was frightening. I thought the game was crashing. The game probably thought it was crashing itself. While I'm doing this, I technically could be... If I just do that, I can sort of melt these down at the same time. Be getting a little bit of extra something done while we're doing this. And, I may speed this process up in the video. I don't know if I will, and I don't know if I feel like dealing with having to do a time lapse. It's actually not necessarily that. I don't know if with the editor I use, if I can do that. Hopefully I can, and I probably will. No, I probably won't. I may just cut this out of the video entirely, or something. I don't know. Still not fully decided exactly how I'm going to try and do editing for this series yet. I would like to do a little bit more editing than what I've been doing, but that doesn't mean that I will. Mainly because that doesn't mean that I'm necessarily gonna know. I haven't done this a whole heck of a lot. My railroader stuff's always been pretty cut and dry, so. Okay, and then we'll just plunk another one in, like that. We can weld these. And then we should only need one more, I think, right? Yeah, so that makes... Yeah. That's the correct number of of ingots. What in the crap? It's a barrel with water in it. Yeah, I should probably move that at some point. Alright, so that'll do that. And then I'll just keep making copper ingots as we are continuing along this process, because we will, in the long term, need more copper. You're always going to need resources, so it's always a good idea to, whenever you have a forge lit, to just do this. Okay, we can weld these. Boom. Perfect. Alright, so that gives us everything that we need. Wow, both of those broke. Yikes. Okay. That's kind of rough. We have one more that I will plunk in there real quick. Alright, but while those are turning into ingots, we'll run up here and we will craft our first anvil. Now, again, we had the stone anvil, but that's literally the only thing that a stone anvil is useful for. I have no idea what the crap sound my computer just decided it was going to make. But cool. So let's run this back down here, and we are immediately going to just destroy our stone anvil. We don't need it anymore, so there is no good reason for it to be sitting here in the way. So, boom, and give me this. I'm gonna plunk it down. What in the shit? What? Okay, that just made mud. Alright, whatever. It doesn't matter. Alright, so that should have given us, yeah, one more full ingot. Let's see if this one breaks. Oh, that one didn't break, so that's good. So now, let's do this. Let's craft a stone axe. Now again, I sort of do the little cheaty cheat when I play TFG, because I can't stand spending forever, getting the forging correct. And you'll see, I was talking about the welding button. One thing that I have added to this is this. So basically, it's a resource pack. And it's perfected anvil helper.zip. It says it's incompatible, but it's not really incompatible. Really. Awesome. Okay, eventually, we will be able to do this. I forgot that it does this, even if you don't change texture packs, or resource packs, whatever. Might as well be a texture pack. Now, this does sort of give me an unfair advantage, technically, to a typical TFG player, because it does allow me to get a perfectly forged item every time, and it made the world completely reload for some ungodly reason. Okay, so once this gets up to where we can work it, well, we'll go till it's basically at a weld. And boom. That's probably good enough. So with this resource pack, it shows me, okay, that I want an orange, a green, and then that many of those. Then we want a hard hit, an upset, a medium hit, and a punch. And that gives you a copper axe head. That's the basics of smithing, right? So let's drop another one in here, and what we will do with it is we will make a tree tap, a couple of tree taps with it. As I said, I want to think it was in the last episode, with TFG, it's always nice to have more than one way to do the same thing. And the big reason behind that is, if one thing doesn't work out, you have something else to fall back on. Alright, who is in the worst shape in here? All these are still 6 or 7 months. That's 9 months, a year, 7 months, 3 months, so we'll probably eat this cabbage next. You know, I didn't even check this. Yeah, all of that's still got quite the lifespan left on it before it goes rotten. Okay, let's drop another one of these in here. And the spigot is something, or the tree tap, I don't know why I keep wanting to call it a spigot. The tree tap is one thing. Alright, so 2 orange, a green, and then we'll just go that many shrinks. So I need hit last, upset second, 13, 13, 26. So I need 26. I need 26 back, and technically 27, technically 29 back. 15 and 15 is 30. 15, we're gonna have to come back to this. Okay, let me get my notebook, and let me also take that out so that it doesn't melt. All right, let me get my notebook here and try to attempt to do some math. Alright, so I need Alright, so I need 26. Technically I need minus 3. So I need 23. 9 and 9 is 18. So I need to get to 23. It's 26. There's 24, sorry. Plus... Alright, 27. Okay, I've completely messed my way of thinking up here. Alright, so 13 plus 13 is 26. $28 minus 3 is 25. Okay, what if I go down to 30? $24. Man, this one's a pain. Alright, so we need 13, 13. We need 13 and 13. Let's see. 2 and 7 would make 9. Because I don't want to go just randomly hitting buttons. I'll see you guys when I figure this out, I guess. I'll see you guys when I have this all figured out. Okay, finally, I think I have figured this out. This, by far, is probably not the easiest way to do it. But, this is just the way that I figured it out. And it's by far the longest recipe for smithing I have found so far in TerraFirmaGreg. In TerraFirmaCraft, period. But TerraFirmaGreg especially. So, once this gets up pretty bright, I'll sort of show you the thought process behind this. So you have to get this thing up to here, and we broke our hammer. We're about to have a freaking heat stroke anyway. It looks like, but yeah, we'll have to reheat that anyway. So let's just go ahead and bathe to cool ourselves off a little bit. The next thing I'm gonna make is a copper hammer, because I'm tired of the stone hammer breaking every 5 minutes. But alright, let's go down here, throw that in there, and we'll just reheat this guy right now. But you have to look at what you have to do, and you have to figure out how much you're going to need to offset it back to 0, basically. And that's probably a horrible way to explain it. But see, we have it here. And so here we need 26 here, and we need to be able to hit it down to something that we can get. So the way I figured it out was 7, 15, 9, 3, 16, 16... I just did it a completely different way. Just hold on. Wait a second. Let me redo all of this real quick. Is there something I missed? Wait. Well, it should have been the same number of hits. Holy cow. Yeah, welcome to the world of TFG, or TFC, period. Smithing. It's an insane world of who knows what's going to happen, basically. It is also summer, by the way, and we are on day 9. So let's let this thing get up pretty toasty, as we are ourselves. Alright, now, alright, so, and then I want 7, 15, 9, did I do 6 this past time? Yeah, I did. Okay, so, same number of hits, it's just I got there in a slightly different way. Okay, so now let's... Oh, wait. I said I was going to make a copper hammer before I quit. Alright, so now we're going to do this, and then we're going to run down and check on the bees as soon as we have made up our copper hammer. Now, the hammer can be used in mining to get certain things, but I may actually go ahead and make a mining hammer. The mining hammer is very useful. Speaking of that, it's already summer in game. Jeez, man. Oh no. I've got to hurry up and get to iron. The only problem with iron is you need... Well, actually, to get wrought iron, you don't. One of the reasons I want to do that so quick, I think I've got time to look this up, is so I can get a cane, which we can do with wrought iron. So that negates the loss of movement due to grass and snow. So snow, to me, makes it basically... hold on a minute. I meant to pull up my cheat sheet. Let me get that back. Okay, here we go. Alright, so we throw this in here, go to hammer, hammerhead, and it looks like it is all strength. It is. And then to get there, we need that, and that. Yep, boom. So now we have our hammer. We can take all of that out of there. I wasted a ton of it trying to get those done. We're gonna go ahead and take that out. We're gonna go ahead and throw our copper hammer together and put it in there. I can get rid of this out of my face now. And let's see. Boom. Copper stone hammer, you can just lay on the dirt. We'll go put you down here at the forge. Give me just a second. Excuse me again. Those fall allergies are hitting rather furiously this year. Alright, so let's go ahead and go get our conifer pitch set up. Now, I think you can only do 1 barrel per tree. I might not have that right, but I think you can only do 1 barrel per tree. I don't think it'll leak out on 2 sides of the tree, but we're about to find out. Boom, boom. Really? Yeah, it lowers the efficiency completely. And I don't think I have another fir tree that's really all that close, do I? No, I do not. I think it'll work out of pine, too, though. So I think we can do it with this pine tree. Guess I can't. Well, then. I don't happen to accidentally have one hiding right around the mountainside, do I? Yes, I do. Perfect. Okay. So we'll do it with this tree. Boom. It fills up fairly slowly, but they will produce pretty well. So let's go check real quick on our beehive. See if we have any bees yet. I highly doubt we have any bees, but there is always the possibility that we have already gotten some bees. No, we have not. Okay, well, I mean, obviously I could increase the chance of it, but we'll just kind of let it go of its own accord for a while. There's my clay deposit that's close. So we'll go ahead and zoink this all up. We'll go ahead and finish off this clay deposit. there really wasn't all that much clay left, and we'll just dig the final one with our hand. That's perfectly fine. I just want a ton of ingot molds here. Alright, and that will fill up 3 pit kilns, so we will do this with pit kilns. Chestnut trees have already regrown, by the way, as well, that we cut down and replanted in the first episode. So, that works out with some perfect timing. I might need more straw. No, I do not. I most definitely do not need more straw. Our other charcoal pit also finished just now. But I'm not too bothered about picking it up. Immediately, it doesn't bother me all that much. So as you plant and harvest trees, they will slowly drop leaves and sticks and twigs and things on the ground, and that will actually make hummus. I think it's called hummus in game. Yeah, hummus. So, uses for hummus. You can push it in a mortar and pestle to get brown universal compost. Which can then be used to make compost. Yeah, okay, so it's actually not very useful. It's nowhere near as useful as I thought it was. Alright, boom, 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 boom. Thanks for playing. Boom, 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 boom. And we'll get these going, and we're gonna go back to the mine for a little bit, I think, while these are doing themselves up. And try to get, I mean, we don't necessarily need any more material, but in TerraFirmaCraft, when all else fails and you have nothing else to do, the best thing you can do is go mining. And we still have our supports on us. We really don't have that many. We have enough to make like one more full support, but that's okay. Now I've got to find it. That's gonna be a tricky part of this. It's finding the darn. There it is. And we may go on to, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die of thirst, man. I wasn't even paying attention. I really need to make, can't think of what it's called. A jug. I really need to make a jug, so that I can take water with me places. As in, like just then, I could have taken water to the mine with me, and instead of having to run all the way back up here to home to drink from our pond. There we go, and then, what in here? Who is in the worst shape? 6 months, 6, 3. I'll probably take you then. Yep, we're gonna take these beets. And run back to the mine. I would show off, well, I probably should. Just go ahead and go down another layer of my mine shaft. There's a very particular way that I do this. Eventually I can go deeper with my ladder, but I first have to use the fact that I've got a supported open pit to get deeper. And actually, no, I am gonna have to do it. So basically what I usually do is oh, okay, I started to say, were we already at the bottom of the vein? So basically, what we'll do sort of dig out like this. Make sure that that's, yes, that's the proper height. Pine support, pine support, pine support, and now I can dig back to my ladder without causing a collapse. And as you can see, this is supported as well. Actually, this all the way back to here is still supported. Oh my gosh, there is a block of raw copper, which just gives you a massive amount of copper. This is unsupported, though. So let's do this, and then we can make gravel, and as you can see, it will stay no matter what now. So then we extend our ladder, and boom. And it's now raining. Wonderful. I'll pretty well just mine this out while we wait for our other ingot molds to do. And I don't know, this may be a short episode. This may only be like a 30-minute long episode, as opposed to the others, which have both been hour-long episodes. And if you watch this and you would love to see me stream it, then I would be more than happy to do so. Wouldn't be my first time streaming TerraFirmaCraft of some shape, form, or description. And you can see that's now unsupported, that's now unsupported. Okay. That's unsupported. Yeah, we've got a ton of ore just from that. So we'll just go ahead and head back. So that's sort of the basics of mining, that was last episode. That's sort of the basics of smithing. Again, there is a lot more that goes into it, just like me sitting there. I think I literally probably sat here for 10 minutes really trying to figure that out. And there are people that are so good at it that they sort of just intuitively know how to get one arrow back to where it's get the arrow back to where it's supposed to be. But I'm not. So, you know. And those only have a couple of minutes left. Well, let's go unload all of our new ores into the ore chest here. And again, hematite and pyrite and all that stuff that gives us iron will be very useful in the future. Now, one thing that I should probably go ahead and do, to be honest, is give me 8 of these. Let me find my saw in my inventory here. Let's see, I don't need that many buckets. Let's just do 4 buckets. Now, the rain will fill these for us. But let us, we'll process all that stuff like right here, I guess. And then we'll go grab 2 more. And what we want to do is make, well, the first one we make will be lime water. They won't all be lime water, and you'll see why in a little bit. Now, one thing that I did like about the little mod pack that I put together was I had a mod in there that was a little bit more technical, I guess you could say, when it came to just like that. And we'll do this one the same way as well. And we'll just seal those back off. Because it gave you sand powder, basically. It's basically powdered sand when you process the ores through the grindstone. Well, you had to sluice box them, which you can still sluice box in this. But there's really not a reason for it. You know, there was the silver deposits somewhere in the river down here that I remember seeing, but that's about all it's good for in this. So, I don't know that we'll be using it. We probably will use it to start with silver, just because silver, again, later on is necessary. You need sterling silver to get, let's see. If we go to steel, you need rose gold and black steel for weak red steel. You need sterling silver and bismuth bronze for blue steel. Now, the thing about that is, we have plenty of gold scattered around. Gold is much easier to come by than silver is. At the very least, in this mod pack it is. So, that will probably be our play. Now, if you want to see one of the reasons why this is so much more effective than honey, we've already got 1,500 millibuckets there. And we have got 1,500 there in less than a day. And with charcoal powder, we can do that. Now, the only problem is I think charcoal powder, you get from doing that, which you have to mill. You have to mill charcoal. Yeah, you have to mill charcoal down into charcoal dust. And as you can see, we still do not have bees yet. So, I mean, again, I can increase the number of flowers to increase the chance of us getting honey, or of getting bees, and subsequently getting honey. But no, not right now anyway. So anyway, I really wish I did have a house built already, and we may do that next episode. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure when next episode will be recorded and or come out. The first 2 episodes have come out one day after the other. I don't know what day I'm going to upload this one, because I am recording this the same day as episode 2, and I may end up recording a 3rd episode today. I don't know. But either way, if you enjoyed this, if you're enjoying the series, then leave a like. Check out the other videos in the series if you're coming into this one as your first. Hope to see you around on the channel again. If you enjoyed the video and you want to see more like it, do what all the YouTubers ask you to do. And I hope to see you back, but even if I don't, I hope you have a wonderful day, and peace out.